Hi, I'm Robert and this is Manhattan Wood Project. My next project is going to be basically a sister cabinet to go with this brand new cabinet that I just built. I have a bunch of sanders, some power tools that I want to get out from underneath my workbench so I can start storing all my random crap underneath there. So I think I'm going to build it and put it right about here. The best part about using French cleats for all these projects is that I can take all of these things, move them around anytime I want, anywhere I want. Instead of this being a typical video where you see me doing a bunch of cutting and sanding and filling and such, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I've had a few people ask me how easy it is to use my Shopsmith. So I'm going to use the Shopsmith, I'm going to use my Radial Arm Saw. Basically it's going to be a lot of the same things that I did with this cabinet, but I'm going to show you more how I set up my shop to do this project rather than how to do the project itself. Because let's face it, this is going to be an easy project. 2 shelves, 2 sides, a couple pieces of 2x4 and some French cleats. Pretty simple. So stay tuned, let's get this project built.
So what should I make today? Manhattan Wood Project. That looks great!
So I just changed the angle of my table from 90 degrees this way to flat. So before I actually make any cuts, I want to make sure that my table is actually square with my blade. Most table saws, you actually change the angle of the blade to match the table. The Shopsmith, you actually do the opposite. So I have a little digital angle gauge here with a resolution of 0.1 degrees. I'll put it on. Let's see what we have. So magnets hold it onto the blade, which is really nice. I'll zero it out. And now, let's put it on the table itself. That's good enough for me. Now I need to set this up so I can cut 12-inch wide strips of plywood. So this is about 11 inches or so right here. 10.5 inches, which means I'm going to have to put the fence on my auxiliary table here. So I'm going to loosen up the locks for the table and for the headstock and move this over. Really simple to do it. And I will I'll lift the table up here so it's the right height for plywood. I'll lift my auxiliary table to the same height. So before I put the rip fence on, I'll show you how I add the extra table space over here. A couple of tubes here for extensions. And I throw a couple of table extensions on here as well. Now that is putting a lot of weight down on this side of the table. So I'm going to put some of these board or some of these legs on. So I tighten this using a hex key, which I have attached to a magnet down here, so it's always in reach because I use that sucker a lot. Pull this up, push up a little bit on the table to make sure I'm not putting any excess force on it. And now it's solid. So I can move these tables as I see fit and then lock them down. My kickback or anti-kickback pawl and the splitter, I'll go on here, get tightened in place. Only thing I have left to do is add the dust collection tube, plug it into the back here, but on the blade guard, and then turn it on, and run the plywood through it. Normally I'd start my dust collector first, but you probably won't be able to hear how I do this. So I pick the speed. There's actually a built-in speed chart. So go through to whatever it is I want to do. In this case, table saw. Let's zoom in a little more. Confirm. And this is just going to be general sawing. So I'm ready. Now, a good thing about this is that I can't go above 1500 RPM without pressing 2 buttons. So I press on and it still won't start. So if a little kid comes in here and decides they want to turn it on, I actually leave it set on one of the higher speeds just so that they can't turn it on 1200 RPM and cut a finger off. So hit on and then you have to hit confirm. And now it's ready. The next thing I need to do is set this up to rip the shelf to 35 and about 3/8 of an inch. So that'll be easy by me moving the main table and blade over this way. And I can get rid of all of this extraneous bullshit right now. So everything is still at the same height, still have the same cut depth. This is locked in place. Now, turn on the dust collector, Shopsmith, and then I push the plywood through. It may not be as glamorous as the Shopsmith, but the Radial Arm Saw is definitely one of my most used tools behind the Shopsmith. You can adjust the height of the cut so you can do dados and rabbets like I did in the last project and like I'm going to do here. And since the blade and the table don't move relative to each other, wherever I cut on the fence, as long as I don't change out the blade, I know that that's where the blade is going to come through. So I can just line up my mark, turn it on, and go to town. Setting this up to do dados and rabbets is really easy. There's a handle on the bottom down here to adjust the height of the blade. I'm just going to kind of eyeball till it's about half the thickness of the wood. And then I'm just going to make test cuts, make some tweaks until I have the slot cut to the perfect depth. About $299, $300, right about where I want it. If it's a few thou shy, I'm not too worried about it. Not too bad for a project video without any kind of project guidance in it. These shelves have my chisels, router bits, sanders, jigsaw hanging down here, hot air gun, a couple of boxes. They're going to help clean up the shop a lot. I have one more big garage organization project in mind that I'm hoping to get out in the next few weeks. I almost have a usable shop. This is exciting. I hope this video was interesting. I'm probably not going to do too many videos like it because you can only see me manipulate the Shopsmith so many times before you get bored, even at double speed. But hopefully it answered some questions. If it brought up any more questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like me on Facebook, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It's free, it's easy, all you have to do is click on the router bits right up here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next project. Hi guys, I just finished wrapping up my first round trip upcycling video, and it's dedicated to all my woodworking friends and all my Manhattan Wood Project fans. Please check it out, let me know what you think, and share it if you like it. Thank you! Now I need to set this up so I can cut 12-inch wide strips off of a large piece of plywood. So to do that, I'm going to move this table this way.